Parshat Shemini. So the beginning of Parshat Shemini, the first half of Parshat Shemini, tells us about the Yom HaShemini Limei HaMilum, the 8th day of the consecration of the Mishkan. This was the day that on Rosh Chodesh Nisan that Bnei Yisrael were able to finally use the Mishkan for the first time. And an amazing event happened for Bnei Yisrael. That via their korbanos, they brought the korbanos on the 8th day, they were able to bring the Shekhinah down into the Mishkan. This was an amazing event for Bnei Yisrael, described here in the Parshat Shemini, as well in Parshat Pekudei. The Torah tells us about how the Shekhinah descended into the Mishkan, and it was via the korbanos of Bnei Yisrael. Now, right before Bnei Yisrael were able to brought the korbanos and thereby bringing down the Shekhinah, so it says, Moshe Rabbeinu says to the Jews the following: "Vayomer Moshe, Zeh hadavar asher tziva Hashem tasu, vayera aleichem kavod Hashem." This is the matter that Hashem has commanded you to do, and Hashem will appear to you today. The Netziv says that there was an emphasis of what Moshe Rabbeinu was doing and telling Bnei Israel, this is the matter that Hashem has commanded you to do. Those words, commanded you to do, are emphasized, says the Netziv. Why? Because Moshe Rabbeinu was concerned that what Bnei Israel were experiencing, or about to experience, they may have thought that this was something that we can come up on our own with. That it was an amazing event to be able to produce a Shekhinah, to be able to feel that amazing dveikus with Hashem, and the amazing ahava, the love that all Bnei Israel had to come close to Hashem, was felt on that day. But Moshe Rabbeinu says to them, guys, I want you to realize, the only reason why we're able to do what we're doing today is because Hashem commanded us to do that. Zeh hadavar asher tziva Hashem tasu. It's only because Hashem commanded us to do this that we're able to do this. The Ramban in Parshat Lech Lecha goes so far to say that the whole idea of Vayera Aleichem Kavod Hashem was not really as a result of Bnei Yisrael's actions. Hashem says, you do the commandments. The results of the commandments is something totally different. Don't worry about what you produce with your commandments. Don't worry whether you'll get that dveikus or don't get the dveikus. The most important thing to focus on is, what does Hashem command of you? Just figure out what Hashem commands of you. Whether you'll get that Shekhinah, whether you won't get the Shekhinah, it's really irrelevant. But because Bnei Yisrael put so much effort into it, that's why Hashem brought the Shekhinah down. The Netziv and many of the commentaries point out that that was exactly the Aveira of Nadav Yaviv. The Torah tells us by Nadav Yaviv that they brought in Eish Zara Asher Lo Tziva Hashem. Now, interesting, Eish Zara Asher Lo Tziva Hashem, as if there's an Eish Zara that would be commanded by Hashem. It says that Nadav Yaviv brought an Eish Zara, a foreign fire that was not commanded by Hashem. Is there a foreign fire that is commanded by Hashem? Says that it's the Torah is telling us is the fact that it was an Asher Lo Tziva Hashem, that's what made it an Eish Zara. What was wrong about what they did was because it was not commanded by Hashem. It may have been right. It may be the right thing to do. And in fact, the Gemara even tells us that the Aveira of Nadav Yaviv is that they didn't ask a shayla before doing what they did. The entire Aveira was Asher Lo Tziva Hashem. And if you're going to do an avoda, even though it's driven by Ahavas Hashem, by definition, that makes it an Eish Zara. That's an Ahavas Hashem, Asher Lo Tziva Hashem. That was the commandment. That is the underlying theme and lesson of the parsha. The second of the parsha tells us about the kashrus, and it's very interesting because kashrus comes right after all the entire building of the Mishkan. The Sforno explains to us that the reason for this is because the Bnei Yisrael's makeup of being a nation to be able to contain the Shekhinah is reliant on the fact that the makeup of their bodies is correct. By the dietary laws that the Torah gives us, Bnei Yisrael's guf and the neshama are intact to be able to contain the Shekhinah. Now that's what the Sforno points out, but what's interesting is that nobody feels that. Everybody goes about the laws of kashrus, are very mundane laws. It's not the laws of korbanos, and when you're going through the laws of kashrus, nobody feels amazing feeling of dveikus. But the Torah is telling us underneath it, you do the commandments, and don't worry, the dveikus would come. Vayomer Hashem zeh hadavar asher tziva Hashem. If you do what Hashem commands you to do, vayera aleichem kavod Hashem, then automatically, whether you feel it or not, the Shekhinah will come down to you.